Hey everybody, this is Tim Hart, branch manager of VanDyk Mortgage here in Fort Myers, Florida. Welcome to another episode of the HartBeat Show for Realtors Podcast. Today, I got referred to me by my friend Jenna over at Fidelity National Title. Shout out to Jenna. We got Bill Risser with us today. Bill, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, always, man. You are a wealth of knowledge, and we've done one or two of these already, and enjoy talking with someone a little like-minded. And I know the agents we deal with here in Southwest Florida will find value in what you're going to have to say today, because we're talking about database management, such an important thing in their business and in mine. So we're going to jam about that today. Bill, you ready?
Yeah, this is a passion project of mine, trying to get agents to understand the value, like truly the value of maintaining an accurate and a database and staying connected.
Absolutely. And Bill, before we get into that though, can you just let them know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my role, I'm Vice President of Digital Strategy with Fidelity National Title. My job is to help realtors and real estate professionals be smarter with technology. I work closely with our sales team to do that. Been doing that since 2011. The previous time, 10 years before that, I ran a branch in Phoenix for Chicago Title, a sister company. And so I've got experience in the trenches. I've never sold real estate, but I've helped close over 7,000 transactions. So I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of things in the last week of a deal. And most of them were great and simple, but the ones that get tough are tough, and you got to figure out how to make them work. So that's my background. I love what I do now. I love the ability to help people. I think realtors and lenders, ultimately, you're serving people. You're helping them with the biggest thing they're going to do in their life. And there's and look, and it's okay to get paid for that. That's awesome. But there's a great this service mentality. When I see that in people, then I see people who are winning. So
that's a great point, because when in our business, you get so tied up in go. I got to get this deal to close for my clients, and you don't become transactional. Not so much that, it's just you can get caught up in the pressure of, I just want to get him in this house. I got to get him in. I want it to go well, and man, sometimes we can lose sight of what an amazing life event these people are having. When they close on this house, they're now, or sell or whatever, they're the new owners, it's theirs. And sometimes we forget about that joy and the amazing thing that they're going through. And we did that, us title realtors, like that started with all of us, and we got there as a team and got them into their dream home or their starter home or whatever it may be. So really cool job when you think about it.
Yeah. I think we downplay it sometimes, and look, there are studies and reports and things about trust level and all these other things and what people think about people in certain roles, but for realtors and lenders that really embrace that service mode and really are trying to help people, there's no one more important. It's just a really cool thing to help people achieve that dream. So I love that. So that ties into database for me, because look, if you're going to do this, if you're going to take care of these people, part of taking care of these people is not just after the deal closes, but how do we maintain that connection? How do we obviously stay connected in such a way that whenever somebody thinks about a refi, they think of Tim. Or whenever somebody we're thinking about upsizing, they're going to think of their realtor, right? Without thinking of anybody else, and avoiding all the shiny objects that are thrown at them. You get to deal with Rocket Mortgage. Realtors get to deal with Zillow and Redfin and all these other things that are saying we've got all the answers, right? How do you stay so top of mind with the people that are already your customers that you don't lose them, right? I think that's really, really important.
Well, you've already got them, you've already spent the time, energy, money, everything to get these people. You got them to closing. You proved what you can do. And now it's on to you to whether or not you're going to maintain that relationship for the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah. And there's a staggering stat that comes out on the homebuyer and seller annual report from NAR every year. The most recent report The numbers got a little better, but it's still brutal. 88% of buyers who, when interviewed and asked, would you use your realtor to help you sell your house? They're buyers now. And they say either definitely or probably is 88%. 88%. Now, when they interview sellers and say, who did you use as a realtor to help you sell your house? 24% used the realtor who helped them buy the house. So 24%, 88%. That is a massive spread. And
I'm curious, did they give a time frame in that? Like,
it's just the year that they're doing it. So you don't really know if they sold in 6, 7, 10.
Yeah, right.
But still, it doesn't matter. You should be staying connected to them, right? And without
absolutely.
without a database, you can't do it. So that number is brutal. That means, another number that's just unbelievable. There were the last few years, it was right around 5.5 million homes transacted in the United States on average, about 5.5 million. So you can call that 11 million sides if you talk in those terms, right? You had buyers and sellers in each one. So we'll call it 11 million transactions. And the number of leads that were sold to realtors by online lead generators, portals, I'm talking about, all those things, was somewhere in the 120 to 130 million leads were sold for 5.5 million transactions, or 11 million sides. All of those leads, you know what they were? They were somebody's customer. They helped them buy the house, and they forgot about them and got taken away by a shiny object. And that's why that spread is so big, right? So it's inexcusable, in my opinion, if you're a realtor and your livelihood depends on relationships. Why are you not making the most important thing you do is keeping those relationships fresh and connected? And be there for them, and be that person that if they have any question about anything real estate, their first thought is, I'm going to call Bill.
Yeah. If
it's mortgage related, I'm going to call Tim.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a huge issue.
Yeah. When we have, we do, I think, and I know we do a really good job, because VanDyk tells me all the time, with our database management, doing these videos, podcasts, newsletters, email blasts, loan anniversary calls, happy birthday calls. Like, we stay in front of past clients, sphere of influence, etc. And we still lose deals. We'll still hear from, hey, so-and-so, yeah, I bought a house the other day. Damn, dude, you never called me. And I may say it jokingly around to him a little bit, but like when I first started, I used to get mad about it at that person, how dare they never call me? But now it's more of that's my fault. They didn't use me because it's my fault. I didn't do a good enough job staying in front of whoever that was, to where when the point came where they're ready to buy or sell or whatever, they didn't think about me, right?
Yeah.
Like, just wasn't on their mind.
Look,
so that's on us, not them.
That's it. And I have this soapbox I get on when I talk about databases and CRM in general with realtors, and really anybody in the business. It applies to lenders, applies to our title sales teams, applies to everybody. Every time you have a conversation, every conversation you have with anybody, that really should be documented inside the CRM. Maybe they're already in there, so it's easy. Just go to their contact record, open it up, click on notes. Every single CRM has that. And you enter the notes about the conversation. It'll date and timestamp it automatically, but the notes are in there. And if they're not in there, you add them as a contact and add the notes. So just that simple fact, just documenting every conversation is critical. But then take it the most important step further. And that is, before you leave their contact record, schedule the next time you're going to reach out to them. It could be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, a year, who knows? Based on the conversation you just had, when should I reach out to this person again to check on them, to stay connected, to stay top of mind? And so then every system where the notes are has a place to schedule the next call. So, and nobody does it.
That's a really good idea.
Right. So you just schedule the call immediately. And then here's what happens now. 2 months later, you're looking at your to-do list, you're looking at your task list, you're looking at your CRM, and it says, call Tim Hart. And I'm like, why am I calling Tim Hart?
Yeah, dude.
Right? Well, but what do I do? I click on your name, and where does it take me? Right to your notes. and I see that 2 months ago, you told me you were in the Keys fishing, or you were
Right.
heading down on a trip. And so when I call you, what do I say? Tim, hey, it's Bill. First, before I ask you anything else, how'd that fishing trip in the Keys go? And what are you thinking? Like, this dude
Shocker
cares.
you remembered.
Exactly. And it's just right there in front of you. That little process gets overlooked all the time, in my opinion, in the real estate space by drip campaigns and these other things that are automated. And automation doesn't build relationships. I mean, it can help a little, but nothing builds a relationship more than you making a phone call, not about real estate, not asking for a referral, but just to say, how you doing? How was the trip? I just wanted to touch base with you. And then who knows where that conversation goes? I know you've been in the business a long time. You've been talking to people with no expectation of a referral. And somewhere in the conversation, they've said, oh, Tim, I forgot. You got to call this guy because I told him I'd have you call him. Does that happen to you?
Oh, yeah. Or so-and-so is going to call you. I just gave you your name and number. Yeah.
Conversations matter. I mean, I think it's everything in our world. You just need to be talking to people, but don't stop at the talking. Document it and schedule the next time you're going to reach out. And if you just do that,
good pointer on the scheduling of it. Good idea.
You're killing it. You don't need anything else in a CRM but that, in my opinion. So you don't. I said that. We're building our own. We have our own at Fidelity. I'm sure VanDyk has a very healthy, robust CRM that does all kinds of great stuff with social and digital marketing and all this stuff. But ultimately, it's your conversations with people that are going to keep them coming back.
But even like, all these places, Remaxes, Century 21s, mm-hmm. they all provide KW, the CRMs for the agents. At least that's what I see. And just like VanDyk supplies them, but I hear it all the time with RLOs that they don't use it. They whatever automatically, the loan goes in there. Okay, well, they got that one in there, but not their little league team, or grandmas or parents, friends, whatever, family, B&I networking groups, whatever it is. Like anyone you ever meet should go into your database, phone number, email, name. Great. Now you're going to get your 4th of July spammy email, but at least they get something from you.
But that's where you got to schedule those contacts.
Yeah, no doubt.
And especially if Sean Carpenter, a good friend of mine who's with Coldwell Banker up in Ohio, and he speaks nationally on relationships. His tagline, I'll give it to you, is build relationships, solve problems, and have fun. If you're doing that every day, you're having a great day. Build some relationships, solve some problems, have fun. As a lender, you solve problems every day.
Yeah,
right? That's what you do. Yeah. So Sean talks about this.
Let me steal that from Sean.
To give him credit. But you have this huge bunch of people, everyone in your phone. Let's say it's 2,000 people. That's the database. But then, who's your sphere of influence, right? This is all kind of, by the book stuff. Your sphere of influence is probably a couple hundred people. But people, if you walked into a bar or a restaurant, you know them, they know you, right? And then as a lender, you have customers, no past customers. They're all customers. And that number, maybe that's however many transactions you've done. You know, if someone put your feet to the fire, they say, how many loans have you closed? And you'd say 4,000 over my career, whatever the number is. Right. And a lot of those are repeats. So you know how many customers you have, and it's going to be less than the total number of transactions. But then there's this core, he calls them the targets. These are like the 20 people that want your success almost as much as you do. And you know who they are. It's family, some family. Could be your best man at your wedding. Could be, another realtor or a lender that's a good friend of yours. They just want you to be successful. Those people you call once a month. And what Sean does is he schedules, there's about 20 days in a month, 20 work days. And he, every month, he just schedules a phone call to those 20 people. And I think what happens, he talks about this. We get lost in trying to go after all these people because I can do this thing and I can reach 10,000 people that you don't know. Yet you got these 20 people who love you and would do anything to help you grow your business. And you kind of ignore them because you figure, they already know me. And I talk to them pretty regularly. And every call he makes to those people, none of it's marketing. It's just like, Hey, Bill, did you see that Rays Yankee game last night? That was awesome. What do you think about this? He just has a quick talk and that's it. Because he calls it the ripple effect, the ability for you to be talking to someone that already knows who you are, right? They've got this database of 100 people behind them. And you want them sharing about you. You want them talking about you. Whenever they hear somebody talk about, we're going to be refinance, we're going to buy or sell. You want that person going, oh, I know a guy. You got to talk to Jim. Tim, you got to talk to Sean. So it's really important. And none of this can happen. None of this can happen without having a database management plan in place. And in our world, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a CRM. So if you're with Remax has Booge, Keller Williams has Command, all the Realogy companies have Zap, EXP has Conversion. You're right. All the big brokerages have something to use already. If you're a smaller brokerage, there are tons of tools, like from free at HubSpot, free if you just want to do the basics, up to I like Wise Agent a lot. They're actually recommended by the Florida Association of Realtors, and it's $30 a month, $30 a month to manage your data. And then finally, I'll give you this last piece. There are people out there. There's a great book written by Nick Crowder. I interviewed him a few years ago on the podcast. It's called The Golden Handoff. So if you have a great database of people who trust you and who you work with, you can annuitize that as you decide to slow down in the business. You find somebody younger and aggressive, someone you like and trust, and you get to know them. And you say, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep these 10 people because I'm going to sell their stuff till I die, because no realtor ever gives up their license. but the rest of the database is going to be turned over to this person, and they're going to work out a deal over the next, say, 5 years or whatever the numbers are. There's going to be a sliding scale of the split you're going to give me on every transaction out of my database that I'm turning over to you. And this book, The Golden Handoff, details exactly how to make that work. And so if you don't have a database of people, you can't do that. You can't do that at the end of the day. And if I think I was a young, aggressive agent, I would be looking at agents aging out, finding the ones that, do you have a database? Let me talk to you. Let me present an offer to you. And if I was to get a warm introduction from you, I can separate your stuff into my CRM. Everything we close out of that CRM, you'll get X percentage this year, X percentage for the next 4 or 5 years. And money's just flowing in. They get to go travel, do their thing, and not worry about their database. You can't do that without having a database. So There's another level there that is kind of a longer term play, but important.
Well, I mean, but it is again, we've talked about this on an episode about podcasts and videos. It is a long-term play because you're a professional and you're going to be here for a while. So like, unless you hit lotto, you're working, buddy.
You shouldn't be playing that anyways too much. Hopefully, just a little bit.
Yeah, a dollar here or there, whatever.
That's good. That's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. But I think it's important, and if you don't know the stats, it's okay. But if you're a realtor and you have you've been going 5 years or whatever, and you've closed, let's just say 100 transactions, okay, just for argument's sake, how many out of the 100 every year should you get back, whether they become a buyer again or a seller? Do you have a percentage or anything?
I don't. I don't have that number. I think Sean, I'll kind of defer to Sean Carpenter. If you just Google that name, he's all over the place. So I don't really know. I don't have a number there. To be honest.
I'd heard that through mortgages, it's basically almost 20% of your database of your past clients that you've closed. Every year you should be closing 20% of that number from that database. That
makes sense over a certain period of time. So like you said, maybe it was after 5 years, or something.
Yeah, obviously,
then you get into that flow.
100 deals this year, you're not going to get 20
next year. Yeah, but in 5 years, you should start expecting that. Yeah,
correct.
That completely makes sense. I just think that there are entire companies built on by referral only, and that's what they're talking about. Or Michael Mayer's 7 Levels of Communication. It's all about creating, raving fans, which is the name of another book. That's all about how do you handle
Love that book.
Those customers. Yeah, they're great books. And so that's the goal. I just think having to prospect is mandatory when you're new, but your goal should be the prospecting should become less and less a part of your business. It's always going to be there to some extent, but serving customers and taking care of their stuff. And there's nothing better than a realtor talking about, I'm selling now homes to my best customers' kids. I'm helping them, I'm serving them. So I think you have a wonderful opportunity in front of you.
Amen. Well, do you have anything else to add to our database talk? You good?
No, go get one. Make sure you're using it.
Do it.
Do it. There you go.
Do it. That's what you want to add. I agree. I 100% agree. Don't waste those opportunities, you guys. You work so hard to get that buyer or seller, and you close the deal for them. Stay in front of them. Yeah. Stay in touch with them. I completely agree. So, Bill, hey, agents have watched this. You got a lot of content out there. Let's tell them where they can find you and connect with you, okay?
Sure. So Google my name, Bill Risser. It's the best way to find me. Whatever your favorite social site is, I'll connect with you there. I also have a podcast called The Real Estate Sessions. It's available everywhere you find podcasts, or you can go to therealestatesessions.com. You can actually subscribe to an email newsletter I do once a week as well to see what's on the show. But it's my passion project. It's my content. It's my I feel like in a way giving back to the industry, because I think the people I talk to share some great information, like you're doing, Tim. You're just trying to find people, and I like the fact that you're very specific to Southwest Florida, because that's where you're at, that's where you live, that's where your family is, right? This is this is where you live. I love it.
It's my peeps. Yep. So, Bill, thanks for being with us today. And you guys, if you're an agent out there, one thing to keep in mind, if you've never worked with us before, communication is valued. I know it's valued by you as well. We do something called Tuesdays with Tim. Yes, we do brand a lot of the stuff we do around my name, but Tuesdays with Tim, I call both agents every single Tuesday, and someone from my team calls every buyer every Tuesday to update them on the file. If your current lender is not providing that type of service, I'd be happy to help them with that. Give me a call anytime, 239-910-5668. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, audio versions on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play, and everywhere else you can listen to it. So, Bill, thanks again, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Tim.
No problem. You guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.